Thank you very much for those who are participating in this webinar about protocols.io. My name is Gabriel Gasque, and I am head of outreach. It is really my pleasure to be here, and you can all see my screen. Before we start, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have a background in experimental neuroscience with doctoral studies and postdoctoral training. I started in protocols.io a little bit less than 2 months ago, so please bear with me if I don't have answers to all of your questions. However, Emma Ganley, our Director of Strategic Initiatives, is with us behind the screen, and I'm sure she will be able to answer most of your questions if I can't do it myself. Also, you don't have to wait until the end of the presentation to ask questions. You can type them in the chat, and Emma will take care of them as we go. You can see the agenda here. I will speak for about 30 minutes, and we will leave 15 minutes at the end for questions. We're also recording this presentation, and we'll send it along with the slides to all registered participants. In this webinar, I'll go over some of the more general points in terms of the motivations for creating protocols.io, what our mission is, and how our platform and tools can make your work easier and faster, both in the research lab and in the classroom, as well as increasing your reproducibility. Although I will share a lot of information, we will not have the opportunity to go over all the details of the different functions and tools of protocols.io. For that reason, I will start by sharing with you some resources that you can browse for more information. First of all, we have these live streaming webinars. We run different webinars several times a month, covering diverse topics. Some of our webinars are tailored for new users, and some of them for more experienced users. So you can go to protocols.io/webinar, and you will see the list of upcoming webinars. We also have clinics, which are user-driven open sessions for questions and for which registration or appointments are not required. Just look them up in this web page and show up. We also have a library of pre-recorded tutorials on different topics related to the functionality, tools, and uses of protocols.io. These tutorials can be found at protocols.io/tutorials. And if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you will find a link to request a one-to-one demo. Now, let's talk about protocols.io itself, what it is, and why it is useful for researchers. Protocols.io is a virtual platform for the development, modification, sharing, and publication of detailed, up-to-date, and reproducible experimental protocols before, during, and after publication of a research article. Protocols.io was created by researchers for researchers. We have collected a series of tweets that comment on the difficulties and frustrations of trying to replicate previously published experiments. And as you can read in this slide, Daniel goes from reference to reference, trying to understand how the devices in a 2017 paper were fabricated. And when he finally reaches the original publication from 2009, this publication simply says, devices were fabricated with conventional methods. This is just an example that highlights a widespread problem. That is, very often, the information reported or included in the materials and methods section of published articles is insufficient to allow the reader to understand what was done and to reproduce the experiments. As part of the background on why we created protocols.io, we like to talk about the Cancer Biology Reproducibility Project, which was a $1.5 million initiative coordinated by the Center for Open Science and by Science Exchange, with the goal of trying to independently replicate almost 200 experiments from about 50 high-profile papers on cancer biology. What the Reproducibility Project researchers discovered very soon after the project began is that it is very difficult to replicate previously published work. There are several reasons why this is the case, but one of them is that the original researchers didn't document in their articles with enough detail what they did and how they did it. This is a Center for Open Science website that summarizes some of the results of the Cancer Biology Reproducibility Project. As you can see, of the 193 experiments that they tried to replicate from 53 articles, 0% of the protocols were completely described, which made it impossible to reproduce them without contacting the original authors. Furthermore, when researchers from the Reproducibility Project contacted the original authors, they also discovered that these did not always could tell how exactly their own experiments had been done. Therefore, the problem of lack of reproducibility goes beyond the lack of adequate reporting in published articles, but also highlights deficiencies in the way researchers keep record of their own experimental protocols for housekeeping. This is caused, among other reasons, because people move from labs. Students graduate and leave. Postdoctoral researchers become faculty elsewhere. Therefore, we thought that a system for the proper storage and exchange of detailed experimental protocols was needed. Protocols.io mission is simple. It's about making it easy for researchers to share the details of their experimental methods before, during, and after publication. Generally speaking, protocol comes in two flavors. It has a free open access version, which provides unlimited protocols as long as they are made public. You can publish all these protocols, getting a permanent and unique digital object identifier, or DOI, for each of them. Then we have the premium accounts that offer everything the free plan offers, plus an unlimited number of private protocols and workspaces. It offers also premium training, and for the institutional accounts, a free protocol import service. You can find more details about our plans at protocols.io/plans/academia. As I mentioned before, we will be sharing the recording and the slides that will contain all this information, so you don't need to hurry to take notes. I will explain later on what Workspaces and what Workspaces are and how the protocol import service works. Some of you might already have an institutional premium account if your university is a partner of protocols.io. You can check this by going to protocols.io/institutions and scrolling down in this menu that I am showing to you right now. Now, going back to our mission and features. In addition to improving the documentation and reproducibility of experimental methods, protocols.io offers many other advantages directly or indirectly linked to this general aim. I'll use the next few slides to discuss how protocols.io can help you improve your everyday work, whether it's research or teaching. We launched protocols.io in 2014. We currently have over 100,000 users who have created over 10,000 public protocols and over 30,000 private protocols. The public protocols are all open access, which means anyone with an internet connection can search for them, read, use, and copy them and create new versions. Last year, our protocols had over 1 million readers. Several organizations, including scientific journals, funding agencies, and educational institutions, support and promote the use of protocols.io. As I'll describe next, protocols.io can support, facilitate, and increase the quality of your research and teaching because it allows you to manage and share research data and protocols. It allows you to simplify teamwork and improve collaborations. And it allows you to save time and keep your work organized. Protocols.io is also a tool to increase your impact as a researcher, to get granular credit for your technical and methodological discoveries and innovations, and to improve your performance as an educator. In the next slides, I will try to create a bridge between the different features and tools of protocols.io and the benefits that protocols.io offers for research and teaching, explaining how the architecture and functionality of the platform enables everything I have listed: organize your work, collaborate, save time, increase your impact, get credit, and teach better and easier. But before I go into the details of the features and their functionality, I would like to briefly summarize why using protocols.io gives you precision and flexibility in your experimental research. The protocols created in this platform go far beyond a PDF. They are dynamic, as they can be supplemented with images and videos. They can also be run in a step-by-step fashion from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. They are also interactive. Your collaborators can make comments or ask questions on specific steps. You can copy and version them and keep a historical record of all changes. You can share them directly from the platform with collaborators. You can publish them or submit them to peer review. Now, going into the details of the platform. The platform has three main sections: the Workspaces that I mentioned before, the File Manager, and the Editor. And I will explain how they relate to each other. The Workspace is where everything happens. It is from this space that you create protocols, organize your work, and collaborate with others. The Workspace has a folder that is organized by the File Manager. In the File Manager, you can use the editor to create protocols. During my explanation on on what each of these sections or features does and how they relate to each other, I will be moving back and forth between them. If you go to our website, this is the landing page. You can create an account if you have not done so already and log in. I would recommend using your institutional email address, but that's not necessary either. Once you log in, the system will ask you to create a workspace, which you can make public or private. At this stage, the system will also ask you if you wish to invite anybody to join the workspace, but you don't have to. I am, in this case, inviting myself. Once in the workspace, to which we are just entering, you can access its folder and the file manager, which is currently empty because we just created the workspace. But you can create a new protocol by selecting the new button and choose among many different templates that you can then personalize and customize using the editor. Now, the file manager will eventually contain, display, and organize the protocols you have created within the workspace. The file manager supports any file type, not only the protocols. It helps you archiving, auditing, and exporting. It can connect to Dropbox, OneDrive, and Google Drive. And it has been designed with enterprise-grade security and backup functionality. The editor offers detailed components. It also has a granular editing history, of which I will give you more details in a few slides. It allows concurrent editing, meaning that several collaborations can work simultaneously in improving and editing a protocol. It also labels different sections of a protocol with different colors, and it has a step-by-step format. You can also upload or embed figures and videos into your protocol, as the one that I'm showing you in this slide. You can see that the protocol is organized in a step-by-step fashion. Different sections are coded with different colors, and the author has enriched the protocol with illustrative images and videos. I am sure that many of you already have a long list of existing protocols in a PDF or Word format. This is not a barrier to adopting the use of protocols.io. We offer our users a protocol import service by which you can send us your existing protocols in any format, and we will upload them in a step-by-step format of protocols.io to the platform. We will double-check your protocols to make sure there are no errors or typos relative to the documents that you have provided. We will then send the protocols for review back to you, and if all looks good, the protocol will be reassigned to you privately, and you will be able to publish it whenever you are ready. This service is free of charge for all premium users and has a cost for everyone else, starting at $50 and depending on the length and complexity of the protocol. Now, going back to the workspace. This is the space for collaborations. You can invite anyone to join your workspace, be it a student or postdoc, another faculty member within the same institution, or external collaborators. To invite collaborators, you go to the administration menu of the workspace, as I am showing you in this slide. You go to the administration and select Manage Members, and then you can invite new collaborators. You can also manage the privileges that members of your workspace will have and limit what they can do, such as inviting other members or sharing or deleting files from the workspace folder. Workspace members can comment on the protocols you have created and shared with them, or they can ask questions. And you can see here how the functionality works in this slide. When a comment is posted, the author will receive an email notification, and then they can come back to the system to respond it. And all this dialogue back and forth will be stored in the platform, keeping a record. The members of the workspace can also make changes to the protocols. And as I mentioned previously, there's a detailed log of all implemented changes to the protocols. The members can also create their own protocols or make a copy of an existing protocol and modify it according to their needs. For example, the original protocol could have been created to work in mouse and a new version modified to work in rat. The platform also allows you to compare an old version to a new version. In this example, the new version is to the left, and the changes are marked in red. So you have a detailed record of all improvements to the protocol, and you can follow up the history. And even if a member of the workspace leaves because, for example, a graduate student graduates, the protocols remain organized, up to date, and available in the file manager. As I mentioned previously, the file manager supports many types of documents, not only protocols. You can upload PDFs, Word documents, and Excel spreadsheets. And all files can be further organized into subfolders. You can also select to export your protocols to Google Drive or Dropbox, or transform them into a PDF and print them, so you can have a hard copy next to you at your bench while running experiments. And I'm showing you right now how a PDF would look like. However, you can also run your protocol directly from your computer or cell phone. The running function in protocols.io allows you to track step by step the progress of the protocol, of the execution of the protocol, and record every step. So as you're moving in the execution of the protocol, the program is letting you know the progress. And it comes with integrated timers, so you can time each step independently and the computer, cell phone, or tablet will beep when the step is over. You can collaborate beyond your workspace by sharing your protocols with specific people via email or by publishing them. Publishing the protocol will assign to it a DOI and will allow anyone with an internet connection to search for it and to access it. It will also create a lock that will not allow further changes to the protocol. A published protocol with an assigned DOI is a citable object that can be referenced to in a paper, giving credit to the author's methodological developments and improvements. The reference will also be linked to the protocol in protocols.io, so the reader will have access to the interactive step-by-step protocol. And the platform keeps a record of all traffic and use of this protocol, including the number of views, the number of bookmarks, export, copies, comments, and citations. Any reader can comment or ask questions on a published protocol, as I showed you earlier, and the authors will be notified. This will expand your network of collaborators and strengthen your impact and reproducibility. Once the protocol is published, any reader can copy it and modify it according to their needs. And the platform has a memory that will link any copied protocol to the original one. In this way, the author will maintain and earn credit. For example, this is a protocol that is a modified version of our original protocol created by somebody else. This protocol has been published and it has received a DOI. The platform, however, indicates that it was forked from another protocol, which you can access by following the link. Thus, all authors get credit for the protocol creation and optimization, and the reader has access to the history of changes and evolution of the protocol. With an assigned DOI, you can use a link to protocols.io as your material and method section, simplifying your work. Thus, if you adopt the use of protocols.io early on, this will simplify your work down the road and add submission and publication. For example, this is a paper published in PLOS Biology. The authors uploaded their detailed protocols to protocols.io and published in their paper the DOI that they obtained from protocols.io. So the reader can follow the link, having access to the detailed protocols originally published, as well as to new versions. Protocols.io recently established a partnership with PLOS ONE, whereby you can submit directly from our platform a novel protocol for peer review and eventual publication. The published lab protocol in PLOS ONE will be bidirectionally linked to the protocol in protocols.io. And the materials and methods section can be summarized only as the DOI it received from protocols.io. So the document will always be linked to the original protocol, but you can create new versions which will overlay the original one. As I mentioned before, once a protocol is published and received a DOI, it can no longer be modified. However, it can be duplicated, modified as needed, and new versions created. Now, going back to the workspace, you can create multiple workspaces in your account, depending on your research and teaching needs. You can create workspaces for different research projects or to teach different classes or lectures. Each workspace can have different members and contain different protocols and documents, giving you great flexibility for organization. In sum, protocols.io helps you stay organized, collaborate efficiently, save time, increase your impact, get credit, and teach efficiently. Now, I would like to open the floor for questions. You can type them in the chat, and both Emma and I will read them and try to answer them.